I told a business owner to stop trying to get more clients. She was pulling in 2, maybe 3,000 a month, and her calendar had more gaps than bookings. She was watching competitors land jobs she should have been getting. And my advice was to stop chasing new traffic. She thought I had lost my mind. But 6 months later, she crossed $15,000 a month. She was still posting content, staying consistent, and still doing the work. But the results finally matched the effort because we fixed the one thing she had been ignoring the entire time. What happened after someone found her? She was already getting traffic. People landing on her website every day from Google, social media, word of mouth. So the visitors were showing up, but they weren't converting. So they would visit her site, look around for a few seconds, and then leave. There wasn't any inquiry or call. They were gone. And over half of everyone who found her was bouncing before they even scrolled. We didn't get her more traffic. We fixed the leak. Rebuilt how her website worked so that the same visitors she was already attracting actually turned into booked appointments. If you run a local service business, you're putting in the work, but the leads aren't coming in the way they should. The next few minutes might change how you think about this entirely. So leads dry up without warning. 1 month, you're busy. The next month, you're checking your phone wondering if something's broken. Maybe your website isn't up, but it is. The phone used to ring more. Inquiries used to come in steadier, but lately, it feels like you're working harder just to stay in the same place you're in right now. And you've probably noticed that competition is getting worse. There's a new company popping up every few months offering the same thing you do, sometimes cheaper. Your customers have more options than they used to. The ones who do reach out are comparing you to 3 or 4 other businesses before they decide which professional to go with. And that comparison game changes everything. As a result, you start second guessing your prices and your rates. You start wondering if you should lower them just to compete, to stay ahead. And some of these conversations go nowhere because the person was never serious. They just wanted to go with the cheapest option. You can feel it eating into your margins while your own costs keep climbing. You've thought about running ads. Maybe you've tried it. Maybe you spent a few $100s, maybe thousands, and you watched the money disappear and got nothing back that justified the cost. Or worse, you got leads that wasted your time. You've thought about posting more content too, getting on this hamster wheel, showing up on social media every day, trying to stay visible, trying to stay relevant. Trust me, we've been through this before. But you're running a business. You've got jobs to do, customers to serve, and a life outside of this. Your business is not your life. The idea of spending hours every week filming videos and writing posts just to get maybe one more client, that feels exhausting before you even start. You've seen other business owners doing it and you wondered how they find the time. The thing is, most of them look burnt out. You do not want that. And underneath all of this is a fear you probably don't talk about much. And that's the fear of spending money and getting nothing back. Investing time into something that doesn't work. Of trusting someone who promises results and delivers excuses. You've likely been burnt before. Maybe by a marketing guy who talked a big game. Maybe by a web designer who charged $5,000 or $7,000 even for a site that looks nice but doesn't actually bring in business. You've seen enough to be skeptical, and honestly you should be. If you're watching this video, most of this stuff doesn't work. So if ads are expensive and unreliable and content takes forever, and you've already been burned by people who promised more than they delivered, what's actually left? How are we different? And there's one thing most business owners never look at closely. And it's not because it's hidden, but it's because it seems too simple to matter. If 100 visitors visit your website this month, how many of them actually reach out? You can check it on your Google Analytics. 2, 3. For most service businesses, that's normal. A conversion rate around 2 or 3%. And nobody really questions it because everyone is on the same boat. But what if that number was 10? What if even 20 out of every 100 visitors turned into real inquiries from people ready to book? You wouldn't need to spend money on traffic. You wouldn't need more of it. You wouldn't need to spend it on ads to get this traffic. You wouldn't need to post content every day, so trading your time for traffic. You just need to stop losing the people who are already showing up. You're probably already finding the visitors. They see you on Google and they're interested enough to click, or on socials. But something happens between when they land on your site and when they decide whether to reach out. And for most businesses, that something is a website that doesn't do its job. What I'm going to walk you through is a system we call S2C, which stands for stranger to client. And the whole thing is built around one observation. Every person who finds your business goes through a journey, and it's pretty much the same journey. And most businesses are losing people at every single stage of that journey without even realizing it's happening. So it works like this. First, there's traffic, which is how people find you in the first place. Whether that's Google, referrals, social media, yard signs, whatever. Then there's conversion, which is what happens when they actually land on your website or call your business. Do they take the next step or do they disappear? Do they ghost you? Now, if they do take the next step, you have delivery, which is the actual service you provide. How smooth it is for them, how smooth it is for you, how it feels to work with you. And finally, there's retention, which is what happens after the job is done. Whether they come back, whether they refer others, whether they leave a review that brings you more business down the line. Now, most marketing focuses entirely on the first stage, which is traffic. Get more eyeballs, run more ads, post more content, but traffic is the most expensive and the most time-consuming part of this whole system. And here's what no one talks about. If you're losing 70 or 80% of your visitors at the conversion stage, pouring more traffic into that leaky bucket just means you're paying more money to lose more people. And the math never works in your favor. The real leverage is in conversion. When you fix how your website actually works, how it turns visitors into buyers, when you restructure your offer so it's clear and impossible to ignore, when you make this next step so obvious that visitors don't have to think about what to do, you multiply the value of every single person who finds you. The same 100 visitors that used to give you 2 inquiries now can give you 10 or 15. Your revenue goes up without your ad spend going up. Your calendar fills up without you grinding on content every single day. This is exactly what we built for that business owner I mentioned at the beginning. She runs a photography business, by the way. Now, the thing is, we didn't touch her traffic sources at all. We rebuilt her website around conversion. Clear positioning so that visitors immediately understood who she was for. We crafted a compelling offer that made reaching out feel like the obvious move. One clear next step instead of 5 different options. And a booking process that removed every single possible point of friction. The traffic she was already getting suddenly started working for her instead of leaking out the moment people arrived. Before we made these changes, more than half of her visitors were leaving without doing anything in like 20 seconds. They'd land on the website, look around, and then bounce. The time on the site was low. Engagement was almost non-existent. People just kept scrolling and then they dipped. She was getting inquiries, but nowhere near what she should have been getting based on the number of people actually visiting and being interested initially. After working with us, the same visitors stayed longer. They clicked through to more pages. They read the copy, and most importantly, they booked. Her conversion rate didn't just improve a little bit. It completely transformed the entire economics of her business. She went from inconsistent months where she wasn't sure if she would be able to cover her expenses to consistent $15,000 months. And she has the same skills, same services, and same city that she'd been working in for years. And the only difference was that her website finally did what a website is supposed to do. And this is not unique to photography businesses. The same system works for any local service business where people find you online and decide whether or not to reach out. If you have any sort of social presence, if you have a website and you're not getting the inquiries you should be getting from the traffic you're already getting, the same principles apply. So let me tell you what we actually built for you. Core of everything is a high converting website designed specifically to turn visitors into inquiries. Not only is it premium and polished, it also converts more visitors into buyers. A website that's engineered around your specific offer, your unique positioning in the market, and a clear path that takes someone from landing on your site to booking a call or sending an inquiry. The copy on this website is written to convert and it's complementary. The structure is built to convert. The flow is designed around how real people actually make decisions, not how web designers think websites should look. It's based on real data. These websites look better than what most web designers build. Function and form, not one or the other. If you went out right now and hired a professional to build something like this from scratch, with the strategy and the copy and the conversion optimization included, you would be looking at $5,000 minimum. And that's a mid-range price for this type of service. So you would probably pay more. And that's assuming they even know how to build for conversion instead of just building something that looks good. It shouldn't be a compromise. But the website is just the foundation. You also get access to our complete S2C training, which is a full breakdown of how the stranger to client system works, how to get the most out of your website once it's built, and how to think about your entire marketing as an integrated system instead of a bunch of random disconnected tactics that you're hoping will somehow work. It's not spray and pray. This training alone would cost $600 if we sold it on its own, and most business owners who go through it say it completely changes how they think about getting clients and retaining them. So on top of that, you get direct consulting access with us. After you've gone through the training, you get on a call where we answer your specific questions about your business. If you're stuck on something, we'll create assets for you live on that call. If you need help with positioning your offer or how to handle a specific situation, we'll map it out together. And this kind of focused strategy work is worth at least $500 for a single hour, which is included in this monthly package. And you don't just get one session. You get ongoing access to ask questions for as long as you're subscribed. Now, add all of this together and you're looking at over $6,000 in real value. And we're being conservative here. You get a website that actually converts, a system that shows you how to maximize every part of how you get clients and how you keep them. And on top of that, you get direct access to people who have done this across dozens of businesses and can help you apply it to yours. If we charged what this actually was worth, it would still make sense for most business owners watching this. $6,000 for a system that could double your conversion rate, a system that could add thousands to your monthly revenue without you spending more on ads or content. That pays for itself within weeks for most businesses. But we're not charging $6,000. We're not even charging half of that. We're not even asking for a big upfront payment. The S2C system, as it is right now, starts at $100 a month. No massive investment before you see results. No 5-figure design fee that you have to hope pays off eventually. It's simply a monthly subscription that gets you everything I just described while keeping your risk as low as possible. We're pricing it this way because we're actively building this offer right now. We want to work with business owners who are actually serious about implementing what we give them, who will put it to use and become case studies we can point to as we grow. So we're not just going to take any client. It's only the highest intent people. So the price is low on purpose. For now, it's not going to stay there. Every 10 clients from now we bring on at this level, the price doubles. Once we hit capacity at this rate, the next group pays $200 a month. Then after that, we get them to pay $400. It's not a fake countdown or a made-up deadline. It's just how we're scaling this because of the bandwidth required. The people who move early get rewarded for taking action when others hesitate. And if you've made it this far, something here connected with what you've been experiencing in your own business. Maybe you're tired of months where you don't know if enough work is coming in. Maybe you're done watching competitors who are not even as good as you somehow getting the clients you should be getting and even more, despite you being in the game longer. Maybe you've wasted money before on marketing that didn't work and you're skeptical that anything ever will. And that skepticism makes sense. Most of this stuff, as I said earlier, it doesn't work. What we are offering is different because it's not about getting you more traffic you have to pay for. You're already getting it. It's about making the traffic you already have actually do something. And in the training, we actually show you how to get this traffic to multiply without spending tens of thousands of dollars. It's about turning your website from a digital business card that nobody reads into a system that books clients while you're out doing the work. Click below and lock in the current rate. You get immediate access to the training. We start building your website this week and you can cancel anytime. The price doubles every 10 clients.